Konnichiwa, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about some myths about salespeople. So let's get going. This is the fourth year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, and we are broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, the best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released shortly. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentation Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 236, and today we're talking about the big myth of the sales A players. When we read commentary about how we should be recruiting A players to boost our firm's performance, this is a mirage for most of us running smaller sized companies. If you are the size of a Google or a Facebook with massively deep pockets, and having A players everywhere is no issue. The reality is A players cost a bomb, and so most of us can't afford that type of talent luxury. Instead, we have to cut our cloth to suit our budgets. We hire C players, and then we try to turn them into B players. Why not turn these B players into A players? This is a contradiction, isn't it? Because we're always striving and thrusting for the best possible result. If we invest and take a B player to A player status, there's a very strong likelihood someone else will admire our handiwork and poach them from us. We've all heard that truism about, what if I develop my people and they leave? Countered with, what if we don't invest them and they stay? This is correct up to the point of your cash flow reserves. We're not talking about having useless people staying on, sucking up our cash resources. B players are very capable and are worth investing in to become even more capable. The additional investment to turn them into A players, though, if they have that capability in the first place, may be a case of over-investment. Having large portions of your revenues centered around a very small number of clients is recognized as a very dangerous position to be in. In the same way, having one or two people accounting for a disproportionate amount of firm income or expertise is also dangerous. When the top performers leave, it can be very disruptive. Most bosses do not sufficiently explain their departure to the remaining staff. In this vacuum, the other members of the team worry about what the A players know that they don't. Is the firm going down? And are those most capable of getting another job jumping ship? Will an exodus of A players introduce fragility into the business? The loss of the contribution of A players is bad enough, but their departure can be interpreted by staff in ways bosses would never imagine. That is why, no matter who leaves, leaders always need to carefully reassure everyone else the firm is fine And this is a personal choice by one individual. Don't allow rumours, imaginings, or guesswork to creep into the equation. We need to own the narrative every time. Find out more after the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is brought to you by, on the 12th of May, our Cross and Upselling program. On the 14th, we have Leading and Managing. On the 18th of May, Time Management. 21st of May, Developing Subordinates. On 28th of May, Communicating with Different Personality Styles. You can find out more about those programs on our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com, and you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 1,000 for you there on Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. And don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. I have a very carefully designed spreadsheet which allows me to track my sales team's performance. It includes all of their costs and related costs to give me a clear picture of what each salesperson's contributions to the company actually is. This allows me to see the amount of leverage they represent. I want to know, what is the multiple of their revenue return against their actual total cost? The bigger that multiple, the better, up to a point. If the multiple is fantastic, but the overall income volume generated is too low, then we can go broke in short order. So there has to be a balance between raw volume of funds coming in and the effectiveness of returns on their efforts. This is where B players can excel. They produce multiples which work for the business and generate a positive profit result. The A players can have bigger numbers, but their multiples may not be that outstanding. They also point to their big numbers and say rude things like, "I want more money." That pay rise to keep them will hammer the attractiveness of their multiple pretty quickly. A players are like an oasis in the desert. The vision through the heat haze can lure small business owners to invest when that may not be the best idea. It can be better over time to build the ranks of the B players from within the ranks of the C players. This is a classic bootstrap approach to building companies. We all do it at the beginning, don't we? But then, with some success comes hubris, and we start to imagine we can extrapolate our genius. Before you know it, the multiples have swung in the wrong direction. For this reason, it is wise to track the multiples down to the last cent and determined to keep on tracking. When you are small, love your B players and hold them close. Invest in them, but don't over-invest. Where is that elusive line of demarcation? Experience watching newly minted A players who were once your B players heading for the exits and more money helps to establish it in your mind. Monitoring the multiple components will create an algorithm indicating how much is enough and how much is too much. We won't always get it right, but we can get pretty close if we pay careful attention to the issue. Remember, this is art, but with big servings of science tossed into the mix. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, please work on your karma and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today. Use it and go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.